through. So, welcome to your International Women's Day hypnosis session. I'm Hypno Heather. I'm so thankful for you to be joining me. I feel the energy around this day has just been phenomenal, and I really want to do what I can to keep this in our hearts and in our minds and in our awareness every day, because it really is every day that we can look at how we can support and create more equality in the world. So, hello, everyone. My pleasure. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Maureen. Hey, Karen. Hey, Elizabeth. You're welcome. I'm so excited. It's been a minute since I showed up for some live sessions. I did some last year when everything was shutting down to begin with. And if you have some time, you can always go into my Hypno Heather Facebook page or on my YouTube. Those live sessions are on there too. I have a feeling I might be doing more as we're going. So to get started, again, feel free, pop stuff in the comments. I love it. It's so fun. We're all here together. There's the energy around this beautiful day and really delving into in a positive way, but also by understanding how there may be ways that we sabotage ourselves, or there may be ways that we aren't really able to do the things that we want to do for ourselves because of what we might have been taught growing up, experiences that we've had, things that we've learned how not to be, how to be, and especially ways that we didn't learn to potentially create healthy boundaries for ourselves. So I say, why weight well being? I decided over time, I never could find a really good word to replace weight loss. I'd over the years had different programs, a lifestyle of weight health, or lose weight, feel great, or different things. But I really wanted to step into this space that's so far beyond weight loss. As some of that's been my specialty for years, having a background in nutrition, cleansing, and fasting, and being one who loves to work on my physical health from the inside out. I love looking at how our minds and our hearts, our emotions and our thoughts are really affecting not only our progress, but our ability to constantly show up, to create the habits that we really want, to have the energy that we want, to have the experience in our lifetime that we really want. And I found that sometimes the biggest job that I would do with my weight loss clients was to just keep helping them to not focus on the pounds, to not focus on the number of the scale. Now, I know if I put out a program and I say, lose weight, this is all the number of pounds all my clients have lost over the years, it would probably sell out. But I want to show up in a different space. I want to show up in a space and talk about the underlying layers of things and thoughts and feelings and experiences that, one, keep us focused on the number of the scale and celebrating or defeating whether we get there or not, and two, how can we create more love and more support and more community, especially for women, around creating health and creating balance, and not that we ever get there, but creating a sustainable lifestyle that's something that we keep coming back to and working on unraveling the thoughts and the beliefs and the feelings that are causing us to not really treat ourselves or our bodies the way we want to. So, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Now, if you want to pop in the comments something, hey, Colleen, something that you want to work on, So something that you would be interested, I am going to talk a little more to this understanding, and then I'm going to talk a little bit, I'll do a little explanation of hypno just for those who may have never experienced it before, and then we'll jump right into the hypnosis today. So, if you've got something that's really that maybe it brought you here, maybe something, some of the things that I was speaking to or some words that I was saying brought you here. And maybe there is something that you've got, like a habit you can't kick, like a food craving, like a way that you might sabotage, or just something that you want to do more of. If there's like um, certain foods you want to eat more of, or certain ways that you want to be in your relationships, because what we're really doing today is we're going to talk about the underlying things that could cause us to not be the way we want to. And for those of you that might have not heard at the beginning, I do have a link in the comments. I'll post it again. Oops. And you can sign up if you want the replay, and I'll send some resources in there too via email. And so basically, when we're looking at weight well being, we're not just talking about food and exercise, right? We're looking at more than that. Because it can seem like, okay, I these are the things that I have to do in order to lose weight. And it usually comes to down to movement and eating. Now, we're not saying that those things don't contribute greatly to the balance in our bodies. If we move more, we're going to feel better. If we eat cleaner, we're going to feel better. And feeling better always creates more balance. It's just we're going to look at a little bit about why we might not be able to do that, why there may be, yeah, programming ultimately that's stopping us from doing this. Okay, I love this. Sugar cravings and binging, drinking more water. Yeah, these are perfect examples. One of my favorite things to do in hypnosis is food cravings. I love it. I love teaching it. If there's any hypnosis practitioners in the house, hello. Keep doing the wonderful work that you're doing. And we're fully building a program in Momentum, the group for hypnosis practitioners. I'll pop that link in here too if you're interested in learning more or creating a way to work with your clients with this. Okay, so cravings, yeah. It's like this is like a really I have an example of this that will demonstrate what I'm speaking to. So I had a client come in and she was wanting to lose weight, and she had a binging problem with M&Ms. Like M&Ms were so interweaved into her life. She would eat them when she's happy, eat them when she's sad. People would give them to her as gifts for good events if she wasn't feeling good. They were just such a part of her life. And she said, honestly, I just need you to help me um, not eat M&Ms. And so I was listening. I was really listening to her when she was speaking to me. And while we were in hypnosis, and now the reason why I would do this in hypnosis as opposed to the conversation is that in hypnosis, it can create a totally lasting result. So I took a guess at it because I found that while I was listening to her, I could hear that she really felt excluded. Like she really didn't feel included in in her family, and especially her husband's family. And I kept hearing that, even though, the food and that was like the topic at the forefront of our conversation. So I kept hearing that, and then in hypnosis, I did this thing where I got her to include herself, to really feel included and do whatever she could within herself to include herself and feel included. And then then we finished hypnosis, and she said she was like kind of irritated at me, and she was like, you didn't even say M&Ms or chocolate once. And I was like, oh yeah, sometimes I will do that kind of like surface level of hypnosis and say, oh, you won't eat chocolate anymore, you don't want them, you don't like them, you don't need them. But I felt like I'd already worked on the issue. And so then the second session, when she came back for her second session, she was like, "Okay, strangest thing, I don't eat M&Ms anymore. I don't even like them. I walk by them every day in my office. And then when I was eating a cookie and it had chocolate in it, I was thinking that it would taste better without the chocolate." She's like, "But you didn't even say chocolate." And I said, "I know, but really it wasn't the problem was never the chocolate." And then she said, "Oh my god, does this mean I'm never gonna wanna eat chocolate again?" I said, "No, it's not like that. It's just that as once you no longer need it to process what you're feeling or to manage what hasn't been processed, then you can have an M&M and and it doesn't become a subconscious cycle that you can't control." So this is where we're going today. Hey, Debbie. So we're really looking at exactly, it's just never the food. And so when we're looking at, and this is why I'm saying it's so much more optimal to do this in hypnosis, because we could have a conversation and I could say, well, sounds like to me that you just don't really feel included. And it would become a thing, and it might become a really logical conversation. Well, I do, but but it wasn't really about that. There was a deeper need that was probably there beyond the family, beyond being married. It was probably there for maybe she never ever felt included in her life. And then that just, kept on being part of a subconscious way that she responded or reacted to something. So, this is an example of how we can go far beyond this behavior modification hypnosis with hypnosis and not just say, oh, you don't love it. Or, like, I saw this one thing that said peanut butter grosses you out, and you will know when now from now on when you think of peanut butter you think of a gross rat and it disgusts you, and that might be in your head and it might keep you away from peanut butter for a couple weeks, maybe longer, but did it really get you to the root of why you're eating so much peanut butter? Did it really look at processing unprocessed material in your heart and your mind space that you have potentially been carrying on, or maybe just happened? Maybe you did stop having fun and enjoying life and you were feeling sad and you started to eat. Maybe you're feeling really stressed and there's a lot of worrisome or anxious thinking that causes you to feel some type of discomfort and then automatically go to a food that gives you comfort. And the thing about food is that food does have chemicals. It does, like, even healthy food creates reactions. Like, foods can give you calming like dairy, or energy like caffeine, or sugar like anything, like energy like sugar. So we do get these things from food, and we can't just stop eating like we could stop smoking and just be done with it. So food gets tricky because we need it to live and our bodies are asking for it, right? Like if we're feeling really low energy, we're going to look for something for energy, but then is it really creating the outcome that we want when we do that? And then also, is it just like a temporary situation? Is it a temporary fix? Is it a momentary, like, how when you're in that kind of like snacking, craving, eating phase and it's like nothing, no matter what you eat, you just don't really get satisfied? It's like that. So when we're looking at, yeah, these types of things, really anything that you want to do, we're going to look at, and I'm going to give you the opportunity in your hypno space with me today to feel into that. I have found through my own journey of life and doing this work and looking at the underlying ways that I have learned to sabotage myself or hope or manage with things, and that there's so many um beliefs and perceptions and things that we were taught growing up. Like I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and the 90s where like it was still very much like this is what's possible if you're a woman, this is what's possible if you're a man, and they were not the same possibilities and they were not the same tips for survival, like I still feel that it was taught to a lot of women, subconsciously, even for survival, to not to people please, to not be too much, too loud, take up too much space, too rebellious, too bitchy, too controlling, too strong, too forward, too masculine, whatever it is. There was still that thinking that you need to kind of fit in, and you need to do what you need to do in order to get a good man so that you can survive. And as you start to do this work, or if you've already been doing this, I'm sure but when you're in that space with yourself, you can start to see how, ooh, like it might just seem like a sexist belief or like a limiting belief, but when you actually feel into how it might have caused you to feel about your capabilities, your worth, your worthiness of success and health and wellness and happiness and energy, it can really weigh a person down. It can really weigh a person down. So thanks so much for sticking around and hanging out with me today. Happy International Women's Day. I'm Hypno Heather. I have been doing this for about 10 years now. Been a hypnotherapist with a full practice and doing a lot of training and teaching and certifying hypnosis practitioners over the years. And now I'm mentoring hypnotherapists to build their practice as well. So hypnosis is my jam. And I have looked at this in so many different ways from that deeper space. And I could really see that all those things that we think we should be doing, we should be able to, we did it before, why can't we do it now? And that we really blame on ourselves. Generally speaking, we could also just stop and blame the patriarchy, blame our upbringing, and blame the things that we were taught and learned and almost pressured into be our entire lives. So we're here to unravel some of that now, and yeah, look at how we could measure success that's got nothing to do with being constantly committed and disciplined and or the number on the scale. We're going to look at measuring success, but I'll also do that in hypnosis for you. So if you have anything come to mind now that we're delving into this space, like a way that perhaps society or the patriarchy or your own upbringing gave you a limited belief about your body, your health, or your weight, feel free to share it now. I'm gonna grab another pen. here while you're doing that. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, awesome. I'm so happy to be here too. I love hanging out. I love this space, and I mean this has become more and more our lives. So make sure that you do sign up on the link that I posted in the chat if you want to replay, and then I'll also send those links for you if you're interested in hypnosis training, or if you're a hypnosis practitioner interested in learning how to work with clients to help them achieve these results. Now, the last thing I'll say that we get into as we get into the hypnosis session is I'm going to just get into a bit about what the results are when we come to this. So, when we're starting to look at how weight well being has those underlying layers of trauma, poverty, legal status, stress, anxiety, racism, unstable housing, inadequate health care. Like it's really expensive to be healthy. There's a lot of options out there in terms of, the cleaner and the healthier you eat. I know I've been doing a functional medicine program for months and it's so expensive and it's not covered by our health care. And I know even for me, a lot of doctors are wanting to help their patients but don't have the tools. So they'll recommend people to me to say, like, this person really needs to lose weight to, like, for their health, like, actually for their health, like, really badly for their health. But this is not a system of health support. This isn't a system. This is then the person has to come and pay out of pocket for this work. Okay, I love this. I'm going to look. Believing permanent weight loss is possible. Thank you. Live my best life. I felt that so many compliments or attention given around looks when I was young that it didn't help build a sense of self worth in a stable, healthy way. I actually hate the word beautiful. I feel like it's overused and can be misused. Honestly, depends on the deliverer. These are really good points. Like the way things that are said, and we always, I feel like in general, people think that kids don't get things, but kids really get everything on a different level and feel things. And we can feel when something is loving, especially unconditionally loving, genuine, heartfelt. And then also, we need to remember that when we're experiencing a trigger, so a reaction to something that someone says, it's an opportunity. Like it really does show us the things that are asking for healing in ourselves. And I really feel like that's the only way that we can be okay with like this freaking stress and struggle. I like the actual, like, going into the dark, the actual being in the space of freaking healing and feeling the stuff that we haven't been wanting to feel, and being able to understand, like, it's not our fault, but it's on us to get ourselves to a better place. Like it's not your fault. We all have these programs within us, and we all ultimately have a journey to walk. And to me, I feel like when we can really look at Like how probably I find the people closest to me are the people that bring up my stuff that needs to get to the light the most. And this is this stuff. This is really the stuff, like the triggers and the reactions and the responses that we feel that are activating parts of us that just aren't feeling safe or good or comfortable or beautiful or pretty or worthwhile. And I like that. Yeah, Sharon, finding the lotus in the mud. I often think of it as like the door to is through. And I think it's important to say to talk about the programming that we've gotten over the years of dieting, right? Because dieting is such a massive industry, and ultimately the faster the weight comes off, the more money they make. That's also created a lot of thinking around what should be eating. Whereas I like to, and I'll roll this into our session today, which is about intuitive eating. Like it takes away from our wisdom to know what feels good, what could I do right now, not like what am I going to plan to do on Monday to start this, oh my god, horrible disciplined process to losing weight. This is more about what feels right for me. What's the best health, like what's the best thing that what could I eat right now that would feel the best for me? What could I do right now that would feel the best for me? Or like, sometimes we might start doing something, start moving, and then start thinking about how we didn't do that or what we've got to do in the future. And all that does is it takes us away from ourselves. It takes us away from our intuition and our capability to listen in to what we need, not what we're told or what we should look like in social media or magazines, or if we're not skinny, or if we're too skinny, or if we're, all of these things. So I really appreciate everyone sharing. I'm going to interweave this into our hypnosis, and I found that to be what's really important. Like it's really important to look at and understand that we can get back into this. We can get more energy for this. We can feel better about this. We can feel more motivated to take care of ourselves, especially when we tune in and we let go of, we let release that thinking that might cause us to think, well, there's no point because I'm never going to get there. I've tried everything. I'm so exhausted. I like nothing I do works, or I really don't want to do that strict program anymore, so it's pointless. And all that does is just make us feel worse and then cause us to eat things that are contributing to the lack of energy and the whole feeling bad. So, yeah, this is really what I love about hypnosis for this, because it works on a different level. It works on a level where I'm not saying you're going to eat this, you're not going to do this, you're not going to drink this, you're not going to do this. I'm just going to help you tune into yourself so you'll just find yourself drinking more water. You'll find yourself being more confident. You'll find yourself choosing what feels best for you. You'll find yourself noticing how when you eat something, it feels better. Like I always have people come in and want different food cravings taken away. And I find it always happens because there's always something that we can tune into. Like there's always a part of us that it's like if we're working with that rebellious part of ourselves, which is definitely part of my program, um, then yeah, if we're rebelling against ourselves, definitely. I mean, we could eat as many fries and burgers as we want. We're adults, we're grown-ups, we can drink all the wine. We can do anything that we want, but who are we really rebelling against? And so what I find is once people do hypnosis and they're more tapped into that space just naturally, then they would eat something, or say then they would drink the wine on that day and feel like, oh, this isn't really working for me. This didn't really give me a good feeling. Instead of this kind of like, oh, I shouldn't drink wine, but I need it, I'm stressed or whatever. Those are all logical, conscious thoughts that just keep creating the habit, because they're not only making excuses for it, it probably is needed. Because then when you are tuned in and you're like, oh, that didn't really make me feel good, so then tomorrow I decide to not have the wine, then guess what you got to start to look at, what's causing you stress. And I'm not saying you look at and go, oh, my kids are causing me stress, or this is causing me stress outside of yourself. It's looking at, well, why does your relationship with your kids cause you stress? What kind of thinking are you carrying around with you? What kind of thoughts are you do you have? What kind of feelings are there that you don't want to feel? And so it's both, right? It works both ways, which is really fun, because it's like you don't want the thing, but then also in hypnosis, you have the opportunity to process those feelings in a way less intense way. And so then as a result of processing those feelings, you just don't need the wine anymore. You just don't need the thing that you always went to in order to try to feel better. Does that make sense? I'm going to just pop this link again in the comments for any new people that have joined. This is just if you want to um, get emailed a replay or resources, any links, that kind of thing. Okay. So that's just one way of looking at this. I can see that you're here, you care about yourself, you don't want to just give up, you want to look at the underlying layers. And I really do believe that as women, we do need to lift each other up and not just say it, not just say it, like actually understand, like, wow, how much do we all do and feel and manage and go through, and how often do we not put ourselves first, or really look at creating boundaries and space and time to take care of ourselves, not because we have to, not because it's another chore, but because we can, but because we deserve it, because we are alive and we want to feel better. And yeah, and that's the beauty of hypnosis, is that it takes away the overwhelm and starts to really bring back the excitement and the energy and the learning how to do things for ourselves in a more balanced way. So, thanks again, everyone, for being here and sticking around. I could talk about this forever. I'm definitely going to do like a full workshop, a $27 workshop on this in May. So again, if you want that information, I'll definitely post it everywhere, but the best place is to be in the email list. So sign up for that link if you want to be kept up on any information. So we're going to get into the hypnosis. Um, if anybody is, oh, I saw that pop up. So I'll just pop one more link. If you are a hypnosis practitioner and you're wanting to build a program like this for your clients and for your potential clients, we're doing it the next 4 weeks. So that's the link to sign up to Momentum. So now, getting into the hypnosis, in a moment, I'm going to get you to just get as comfortable as you can. If you have somewhere, oh, that's not the right link. If you have somewhere that you can relax, somewhere that you can kick back, that's going to be great for you. Maybe you have headphones you could pop in. Um, yeah, just anywhere that you can chill. Even if you're in a chair like this, like I'll just sit back sometimes like this. Just a quick little spiel for those of you who haven't done hypnosis before. Um, I mean, basically, the thing about hypnosis is it's just using a natural state that we're in anyway for a purpose. And basically, if you think about driving home, not remembering how you get there, drifting off, daydreaming, singing, getting lost in a song, getting lost in a movie, where you're like feeling the emotions. This is hypnosis. There's not one way you should feel. You're not going to be unconscious. You're going to be hearing things I say, but you might feel your system start to soften. You might feel your system start to relax because ultimately it's the nervous system will slow down, your breathing might change, and ultimately, oh, relaxation is so good, especially mental relaxation, which I don't think we get enough of ever. One of the things you'll hear me say in our session today is that the more you relax, the more weight you lose. The more weight you lose, the more you relax, the more you relax, the more weight you lose, the more weight you lose, the more you relax. Because ultimately, stress creates hormonal imbalance. Stress creates bellies. Stress creates um, nervous system tension. And, stress is just heightened states of being is like I've seen this so much where people have like great diets and have super intense regimes, like exercise regimes, and they're still not losing weight and they're still not feeling good about themselves. So relaxation and slowing down and coming out of here and all the stuff to do and think about and worry and people to tell and talk to and make them know how you feel. All of that is not relaxing. So we're going to really focus on bringing in a more relaxed state, remembering that it's not that it's if your mind is drifting off, having thoughts or thinking, it's not that you're not in hypnosis. Hypnosis has varying stages. Everybody goes deeper the more they do. That's why when you work with a good hypnotherapist, they're going to suggest that you do a bundle of sessions so that you can get the results that you want. Everyone goes deeper. The deeper you go, the better you feel. And so there's no wrong way to do it. You can't do it right. You can't do it wrong. It's just, I want to give you the opportunity here to tap in and just tune into yourself. I'll give as I go through it, you'll get a sense and you'll also have moments to feel into some things for yourself. Okay. Pop me any questions before we start here. Thanks again to everyone who's joining. It's just a pleasure. I love the energy. It's so crazy how we're on Zoom or, Facebook, and we can feel how we're all here and we're wanting to like do this. So I love it. Thank you again. If you want to take a moment to get comfortable, I'm going to too. Can I just take a moment? Okay. All right. So here we go. As we're beginning, you can definitely close your eyes if you'd like to. That's it. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Sometimes it can be really good to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Right from the beginning, focusing on your breath. You don't have to try to deepen it or have a more relaxed breath. Just meet yourself where you're at today. That's all. This is your space to be as you are, feel as you are. If emotions come up, great. This is really your space. Sometimes I do like to, even when I'm starting to do hypnosis, put my hand or one of my hands on my heart center, and bring in the intention for yourself to take a moment to slow down, knowing that every breath takes you deeper and deeper, relaxed. That's it. Sometimes people do like to imagine that it's like a wave of relaxation flowing from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And it's like every breath sends another wave flowing. You might find your muscles continue to soften, lengthen, and loosen, breathing easy and relaxing deeper. That's it. Taking a moment to focus on your eyelids and let your eyelids be really nice and heavy. Let your eyelids be really nice and heavy, really comfortably relaxed. In fact, take a moment and just let your eyelids become really heavy and relaxed so that they are comfortably stuck shut. That's it. Beautiful. Noticing that the more that you try to open them, the more that they just keep sticking closed. And then noticed how even when you try to open them, they just keep sticking closed. And then you just stop trying and send that same quality of relaxation down into your entire body now. If they open, that's fine too. You just close them and go deeper, relaxed. Opening and closing the eyes is a wonderful way to send that message to that thinking, analytical, conscious mind to go deeper, relaxed. So take that moment and let go. And in a moment, I'm going to get you to open and close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, that'll be your signal to yourself to go deeper, relaxed. That'll be your signal to yourself to relax even more. 2 times, 5 times, maybe even 10 times deeper, relaxed. Here we go. Eyes open and closed, deeper, relaxed now. And again, eyes open and down, drifting deeper and deeper, relaxed. The deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you go. Muscles continuing to soften, lengthen, loosen. Sometimes when people are going deeper into hypnosis, they might experience feeling heavier or lighter, maybe even an eyelid fluttering, a tendency to swallow more, or a tingling in the hands or arms. Just remembering that however you experience this is perfect. And already That beautiful subconscious, super conscious mind is becoming more and more receptive. It's always listening. It's just what we're doing is we're bringing it more to the surface, letting that thinking, conscious, analytical, thinks it knows the solution to every problem and it's a hard solution, letting it know that it can take a well-deserved break. Nothing to do, nothing to remember. You can always rewatch this if you want to go back because you weren't listening. Nothing to solve. Just imagining that there's this part of you within that's opening. Maybe you like the image of a flower or a door. Maybe you like where you're going down a path, exploring, or you've got I like to sometimes imagine just my mind opening up to the vast universe where there's just so much love and support and energy and information and solutions and light for you. So you're softening into this space. At any moment, you can take a deep breath and go deeper, relaxed. No matter where you are, here or work or home away from here, you'll find that you have an ability to relax more every time that you take a deep breath. You feel more relaxed. And the more relaxed you feel, the easier it is to do things for yourself that feel good. The more relaxed you feel, the more weight you lose. The more relaxed you feel, the better you feel. The better you feel, the easier it is to do things that feel good for yourself. The easier it is to do things that feel good for yourself, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more weight you lose, and you go deeper relaxed now. And you continue to go deeper relaxed with each number. I'm going to count down from 11 to 1, and each number I count down will take you deeper and deeper relaxed. 11, deeper relaxed now. It's very normal for people to have their own visualizations or not. It's normal to perhaps drift or see colors or not. You may just feel like you're relaxing, listening to the sound of my voice. All is welcome, all is well. Each number now softening, really feeling that mind relax. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's it. 2, and 1. Beautiful. And before we continue on with deepening a little bit more tonight, this is a really beautiful, softer, receptive space to come into yourself and feel into what you really want, and especially how you want to feel. This is your time to just Tune into that. Check in. Ask yourself, feel into your heart. Maybe it's just one feeling that you need to not feel anymore. Maybe it's just one thing that you want to feel better about, or maybe it's just feeling anything, right? And so this isn't with conditions. This isn't about what you have to do to feel that way. This is just about how do you want to feel? Take a moment there. And if there is an image or a vision or an imagination, right? Imagination is the language of the subconscious. So if there's an image of what you look like feeling like that, you can bring it in. You get to have goals too. It's just remember that the feeling you can start to feel right now. When we focus on how you'll feel along the way to reaching your goal, you'll know you're on your way every time that you feel that feeling. So you can tap into if you have some picture or imagery comes up, and if you can't see anything, that's okay too. Just come back to your heart, your intention in your heart, and let all parts of you know, hey, this is where we're going. It's okay. This is where we're going. This is where we're going to be. This is how I'm going to feel more and more. And guess what? You're amazing. Your mind's amazing. Once it knows what it's creating and it becomes more and more clear about where you're going and how you're going to feel, it will start to get all of the parts on the same page, and it will open you up to opportunities and information and connections in your life that are just going to be so synchronistically part of help, support, love, assistance, information to you getting to where you want to be. So we are going to just take a moment here to just not think about what you think you have to do or how you're going to get there. Just breathe, relax, focus on what you want and how you want to feel. Great work. You're doing so great. This is amazing. So amazing, you guys. So, next, breathe. Let that all go. I'm going to give you an opportunity for release so that you can let go of everything and anything known or unknown no longer needed in this space today. Anything that's ever held you back or held you down. So, we're going to take a moment. Um, Sometimes it's nice to kind of soften again, slow fall or relax deeper. If there's any part of your body physical that's been experiencing any pain or tension, just imagine this relaxation. Maybe it's even a color or a light flowing through and into any areas that you are feeling that pain or tension. And, into any extra weight that you feel like you're carrying around as a burden emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So feel into maybe they're just burdensome thoughts. Maybe you take too much of other people's stuff on your shoulders. Maybe you take your own. Maybe you've been blaming yourself, hard on yourself, mean to yourself. Maybe you've been mean to others, maybe you've just been not able to feel good. Maybe you've been carrying around weight for years. So I am going to give you an opportunity to release. I'm going to do a countdown slowly from 7 to 1. And if you like some type of imagery where you could wash it away, erase it, burn it, that's cool. You can pick that if you like. But before we get to the release, just quickly, taking a moment to get clear, just feel into. You don't have to know exactly the issue, but you know the stuff. Like, you know the stuff that's weighing on you. You know the stuff that you want to process at a deeper level. You know the stuff. So just take a moment there and feel it. The best gift that you can give yourself on this beautiful International Women's Day. Give yourself the gift of just space and feeling into the shit that's been bothering you, that's been weighing you down. You deserve it. And I got you. I'm here with you. I'm going to release it for you. But first, it's going to be so much more effective and powerful if you can just let yourself feel it. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to know why it's there. If you feel hurt, if you feel mad, if you feel sad, if you feel unworthy, if you feel bad, if you feel ugly, if you feel shitty, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel stressed, it whatever it is, you get to feel it. You're allowed, but feel it. So when you leave here, you don't eat it or continue to avoid it or sabotage yourself as a result of it. That's it. And sometimes it is good to come into the body, notice an area or areas in your body where you might be feeling that feeling as well physically. Mine is in the center of my chest. Maybe there's even a color that you could give it. Maybe it even has a name. Mine is fear. Maybe you know it's time for it to leave. Maybe it could leave right now. That's the beauty about thoughts and feelings. They can leave immediately. And then the body will start to lead you in the direction of easier habits and well being for the physical to let go after. Okay. I feel like that's good. I got you. I can tell. Okay. So now let's take a moment to release this. How we're going to do this is if you did find a color and a feeling, just imagine the opposite color, like the color that would be great in that space. If you don't have a color or you're not sure of the feeling, that's fine too. The subconscious knows what it's doing, even when our conscious mind is not aware. So I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. Sorry, from 7 to 1, like I said, and every number is going to subconsciously assist you in releasing everything and anything known or unknown thoughts, feelings, beliefs, perceptions, experiences, um, everything no longer needed. So here we go. Again, if you want to bring in a color and just let all that go, you can. If you want to imagine washing away, burning away, chopping away, throwing away, vacuuming away, that's cool too. Here we go. 7, 6, 5. That's it. You got this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice deep breath in and out. Maybe again, just we're almost done here. Breathing out and really feeling the space that you have created for yourself today. It might not be all gone. It might bring some awareness as to some other stuff you'd want to work on in this type of space, but give yourself some air, like it's here. It's you're alive. And in a moment, I'll count to 3. And at 3, you'll be back in the room, eyes open, relaxed, awake, and aware. So just taking that moment, kind of feeling into the space, maybe feel your jaw, how it's more relaxed, or your shoulders, or even parts of your body, knowing that at any moment you could just imagine that you're back here breathing and relax and remembering that the more you relax, the better you feel. The better you feel, the more you relax. The more you relax, the more your body balances to its perfect weight. The more your balanced body balances to its weight, the more weight you lose if you need to. And the more weight you lose, the more relaxed you feel. The more relaxed you feel, the more weight you lose. And you're going to find yourself beautifully, wonderfully aware of the things that you think and the way that they're limiting you from being happy and feeling good and being motivated and having energy, but also being willing to feel into what that may have caused you to be unable to do. Let yourself feel, let yourself breathe, let yourself know that there are so many ways to show up and care for yourself in your life. And as soon as you can really let go of needing to get somewhere to a certain size, to a certain weight, to the pounds coming off, and you can just get back to wait, what felt better when I ate it? What do I like to do? What is fun for me to move my body? What feels good for me? And you'll find yourself as a result of today doing more and more of the things that feel good to you, not because you have to or it's a burden or a stress, but because you want to and you like to feel better. So, starting to let a little bit of movement come into your body, into your hands, into your feet. That's it. 1 is starting to come back to the room. 2, remembering that your subconscious mind heard everything it needed to hear for you. And 3, eyes open, back in the room, relaxed, awake, and aware. Beautiful. Taking a moment to just kind of come back and feel free to share your experience. Ask me any questions. I'm going to hang out here for a couple more minutes with y'all. And thank you. Thank you for sharing this space with me. Thank you for being willing to open up to yourself and go within and be renewed and refreshed. It's my pleasure. Feel free to post any comments or questions in the comments. And as I'm reading this is great. It's such a pleasure, you guys. Like, it's so fun. And while we were doing it, like, Wow, I felt so much energy. I felt so much release. I felt you all really feeling into that deeper stuff. Thank you, everyone. And remember, if you want the replay or any resources and want to make sure that you are on the list, thanks, everyone. Um, Make sure that you sign up on that link. And then what I'll do is tomorrow I'll set out. Oh, I love this. A new woman. Great language. Loved it. Thank you. Feel so relaxed. Beautiful. And feel free to come back to this anytime you want. Again, I will in the email send the link. I'm just going to grab it again. Make things simple so you could go. Oh, great to hear, Maureen. You are so relaxed. Oh, nice to see you, Jennifer, too. And again, if you are interested in hypnosis training, I will also put that on there. I do have a brand new class coming soon, soon, soon. I know some of you are waiting for it. It's almost, details are almost all pulled together. But I'll send that out to anyone who signed up to this email list. And also, if you're a hypnosis practitioner and you're wanting to work with weight in a more um, in a space that oh, the one thing I do want to say too is I know that there are hypnosis practitioners on this call, which one, kudos for you, because I truly believe that as hypnosis practitioners, we need to be using our own modality and getting hypnosis whenever we can, because we know how awesome it is. And if you want, you can fully raise your hand in the comments and then people can check you out too. Um, it's such a great way to create change from within. And I love seeing more and more people using it and opening up to the modality way beyond behavior modification, where we can really start to feel into the spaces within ourselves and get the energy and the motivation where it's not a struggle. It's not like we have to use willpower to be successful because that's bullshit. Like willpower doesn't work because willpower is still in our conscious mind of what we think we should do or be able to do. It doesn't connect us to that deeper part of ourselves that's going to open the doors to what is going to be the next step and then the next step and then the next step and then the next step so we can let it unfold for us to get there instead of this kind of these are the strict things I have to do to get there. So when you relax, you lose weight. Thank you, everybody, again. It was such a pleasure. I'm definitely doing this again. And I have a whole workshop coming up. So stay tuned. I believe it's on March 25th, if that's a Thursday. I'll definitely be posting it. Yes, Michelle, so great to see you. I love seeing all the people that you've helped, and I definitely want to have a conversation with you. So I'll reach out. And Sharon, love seeing you guys build, and Maureen now also hypnotherapist. So yeah, like this has been my message and is still always my message, which is community over competition. And I truly believe that as women, especially, we need this. We need this to repair the things that we've been taught, that aren't about community. And maybe we needed that when we were learning to succeed in a man's world. But now we get to love and support and share. Another hypnotist here, Renee. And yeah, Sharon, we're always learning from each other, adding to our knowledge, which is also shout out to all my momentumers here who are really dedicated, putting in the time to growing their practice every day. Renee and Sharon and Ron. And yes, Deanna, I definitely do this in groups, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I actually am on when I do the workshop. It'll be a $27 full workshop on the 25th for delving even more into some of this stuff where we get into creating a lifestyle of health, emotional eating, healing, detox reactions, food cravings, deeper layers of issues around food, intuitive eating, negative self talk, self image, limiting beliefs about bodies and possibilities, metabolism and thyroid issues, hormonal balance, and creating a new mental blueprint. So, new habits. And actually, from that, I'm going to be launching my brand new 4-week weight loss group. So it's going to be a group that you could pay a monthly fee for, but it will be to start off 4 weeks. Now, I know some of you, hi, Karen, and other people have been here since I started doing these groups in person, and it was never enough. Everyone always wanted more. And so now I'm going to do it online. um, because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to bring it back. And you know what? Who knows? If we do the 4-week session and it goes well, we might extend it. I've done that in person before. It's just gone so well. We needed more time, wanted more time together. So that will be definitely sent out in the emails. But the best way to get to that is in the next $27 workshop. I want to pull up the calendar just so I am certain. So the workshop that's going to be held online, it'll be a Zoom workshop for weight well-being on March 25th. That will be the $27 one that anyone in that workshop will get first access to the 4-week group. That's going to be There's going to be 4 sessions, there's going to be resources, there's going to be a Facebook group for support. So, yes, that's where we're going. I'm so excited. It's been I don't know, it's probably been at least a year since I did this, more. I don't even know because the last weight loss groups were in person. And now that everything's online and going so well, and people are getting such good results with hypnosis online, I'm so excited. Plus, we can get a group from everywhere around the world. Like we're not limited by time and space. So I'll definitely, and yet, Tasha, the workshop will always be recorded, and I'll send a replay. So once you purchase the workshop, I don't have the page up for it right now, but I'll definitely send it out as soon as it's ready to go. And I always do that. In every workshop that I do, I always send the replay because I also think there's value. Like you could come back to this even tonight. It will be on my Facebook page forever. But I'll also send out a replay that I'm recording right now on my computer. So even if you want to, you could just listen to the hypno part, fast forward and listen to the hypno part over and over again, really. And this is why we want to do this more regularly. And I thank you again so much for coming. I can't wait till the next one on the 25th. I'll make sure to send out that information. You guys will get top priority. Plus, it will be after it goes out to you guys on my social media. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed it and feel free because the thing about hypnosis is that it's subtle and it comes over time, you know? So just kind of watch it unfold and if anything occurs, feel free to come back to this, pop me, send me a message, whatever it is, I love to hear it. So all the best. Feeling better is an inside job, and I totally believe in you. And I know that you can do this. You can take time for yourself and just feel into more some of the discomfort that you're feeling and keep on breathing. Lots of love to you. Good night, everybody.